Hi everyone, welcome to the Piano Keys. I'm so glad that you're here. This is part 2 of my practice time for Chopin's Fantasie Impromptu. And in this one, I practiced a little bit longer of a section than I did in the first one, but my process is the same. I still show you what I'm doing and why I'm doing. And I don't reach perfection because that's how practicing works. I just practice for a certain amount of time and set my goals and get as close to them as I can, and then I come back to fight another day. It's a really good idea to have the sheet music in front of you while you watch this and possibly practice with me so that you'll get more out of the experience. There's a link to the sheet music in the description box below. I didn't make the sheet music, it's just a quick link where you can purchase it. There is also links to my social media and my PayPal in case you want to help defray the costs of running this channel. If you're ready to practice with me on Chopin's Fantasie Impromptu, then keep watching. I'm going to start the left hand in measure, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, measure 7, and let's just see what's happening here. Okay, so as you can see, I have to stretch quite a bit. And as I spoke about, I think, in the previous practice with me on this piece, I'm using my third finger here like a pivot. So I'm not doing this, you know, and trying to find it every time. I'm using this like an anchor. So it's like my home base. I'm not stuck on the note, but I'm hovering just above it, basically in the canyon between these two black keys. If your fingers are too wide to get in there, probably you're going to have to come out a little bit. I'm fortunate that I can get in, but then again, I have really short fingers, so, you know, it's a trade-off. So anyway, all right, so I hook onto this black key, yeah, and I use it to, like, anchor myself. All right. Now I have to get that third finger out of there because it has to play a different note. But again, it's anchoring on that guy. So like I'm pivoting back and forth, all right? From here, I go down. And here I get to repeat the same thing. So that's good. And then this looks like what we already played in the beginning. So that's good, we know that. Here it changes slightly. And here I play the same thing twice. Okay, so that's like my introduction to my hand, that this is kind of what's happening here. So now I'm going to practice with the metronome, and the process is pretty similar between all the pieces that I play. I start slow and I get faster. That's basically it. If you're looking for a hack, which, by the way, if you see, there's a lot of like YouTube videos that have outrageous titles because they want you to click on them. There's no hacks to playing the piano. Sorry, there's no like magic tricks. There are good techniques. There are good practice steps. There are things that you should be doing. But none of them is like a fast track to getting, you know, to be a burning piano player. It doesn't happen. It's like saying, I want to give me a hack for winning the New York City Marathon. Okay, the hack is you run a lot. You run a lot for many years. You train your body. You stay lean. Okay, it's not a hack, but yeah, I guess you can call it a hack. All right, I'm done lecturing. It just, you know, sorry, but it gets to me when I see these YouTube videos with like 1 million clicks, and I click on it, and basically they're not telling you how to do anything. They're just getting you to click on them. All right, moving on. So I'm going to start at 60. And if you watch the first part of this, you know that I'm counting the wrong way. This is written in cut time. I'm counting it as though it's in common time, ends in 4/4. So I'm looking at these left-hand notes like triplets. Let's take a look. Starting here. it might be too fast for some of you to start out. For me, it felt good, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it there. If it felt like I couldn't keep up, I would definitely slow down the metronome and practice it. But for me, right now, this feels good. So I'm going to move up to 72. Okay, I'm not even with the metronome. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm keeping my wrist really relaxed so that it's hinging back and forth, whatever it needs to do. So right now I'm showing you, but I'm making it do stuff. If I let it be relaxed and I reach for the notes I need to reach for, it's going to do whatever it needs to do. That felt good at 72, so I'm going to go 88. I'm just randomly clicking on this metronome app I have on my Surface, and I can't click on a specific number. So right now I went to 88, and that's good. That felt good. Let's do another click here. Ooh, 100. All right. That feels good too. So as I'm practicing now, I know that coming up, I'm going to have to put the hands together with that polyrhythm. So I'm feeling the pulses like 1, like that. Let me exaggerate so you know what I'm saying. Do you hear those accents I'm doing? I'm trying to ingrain in my muscles and my body the feel of the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because later when I put the hands together, I'm going to need to be able to feel that so I'm not lost. All right, 108. That feels really good to me right now. Ooh, I clicked on too high. Let's do 116. So along with using that anchor node and keeping my wrist relaxed, I'm also attempting to have round fingers. Let me pause this. I can't really have round fingers because of the way I'm stretched out, but at the same time, I don't want to be like this. Do you see that? Like I'm just straining. You're asking for trouble if you do that. There's no way that you can tense up your muscles like that and ask them to go fast. It's not going to happen. So if you want to know how to go fast, you need to relax. Right? So I'm reaching out because I have to, because these notes are far apart from me, but I'm not doing this. Do you see the difference? I hope so from that camera angle. All right, I think the left hand's good. Now, here comes the more challenging part, which is the right hand. So I'm going to go slower. Let's do, well, before I play metronome, let me see if I like these fingerings here. Looks like at some point I actually wrote in some fingering, probably way back sometime when I was using this like as a warm-up exercise or something. So I like the fingering that I've written in. I'm going to keep it. All right, let's do that one more time. And then here, this is like the beginning part. This one is a slight alteration of that. my book is telling me to use 3 here and then 4 here. That's the editor's suggestion. Let me see if I like it. I actually do like it, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it. And I noticed that I was trying to use a different finger there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle that 3 to tell myself, hey, you should do that 3. All right. I like the fingering I'm using. It feels really solid. So now it's time to put the steady beat aspect of it to use. So now I'm going to turn on the metronome. Oh, bad. So between these 2 notes, I'm just going to have to stretch. I don't like lifting because that gives me the chance to miss my aim. It's better to reach. So let's try that again. That works better. Yeah, my finger's still trying to go 4 here. Let me see if Okay, so what I have to do in order for let me pause this. Sometimes my students also get into habits of bad fingering. Bad meaning like it's not what they intended to do, but for some reason their hand keeps, putting in a fingering that they don't want to do. That's what I mean by bad. So there's no such thing as like right or wrong fingering. Only in as much as does it work for what you're trying to get at. If it's not working, then it's not good fingering for you in that time. All right, does that make sense? I hope so. So if you play something and someone comes and says, oh, you're using the wrong fingering, if it works for you, then, tell them that, thanks for your opinion, but I'm good. All right. I've noticed that people who know very little really like to give advice. Anyway, take advice if it helps you. I'll just put it that way. So let's see. From here, what's happening is my 4th finger is wanting to come in, but I want my 3rd finger to come in. So I'm going to use like a trick against my hand, and I'm going to do like this. I'm going to make my 4th finger stay there on top of this note. So then I just bring my 3rd finger over. Okay? So I'm keeping my hand shape here. I'm not doing this. Do you see that? I'm not coming over right away. I'm staying here and then bringing my 3rd finger because I want to use 3rd finger. All right, so let's go back to our metronome. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to do that whole section again with the same tempo. That feels good. It doesn't feel excellent, and the reason it doesn't feel excellent is because I'm still kind of fighting the fingering a little bit, and you can't see this, but I have a microphone right above my head. I'm trying not to bump into it, so I'm just going to forget about the mic. All right, let's go 65. Yeah. It's not good. That felt better, but it didn't feel very secure. So I'm going to do it again at the same tempo. I did the wrong fingering there. that felt much better. So I'm going to go faster. 73. There's something I want to see. So my fingers are wanting to go 3 here, but let's see which is better. I think I'm going to do 3 here because that's what I did in the octave right before it. So let me change that. Okay. Oop. Yeah, that's good. That felt better. Often, if there's something that you're feeling a little bit unresolved about, for example, that third finger, I was seeing a 2 in the music, and every time I got there, I didn't realize, but my mind was having to make some decisions. So even like a background operation like that, like your mind saying, should I use 3 or 2, is sort of distracting. So things like that can actually impair your playing. So what does that mean? That means that if you're playing and you notice that you're uncertain or you're feeling, kind of wobbly in one section, figure out what it is that you need to make a decision about and make the decision. So right now I decided I'm going to do 3 there, and that felt a lot better. So I didn't have to figure it out every time I got to it. Let's go 81. Feels good. And notice here, because my hand isn't as stretched out, I can actually use round fingers. And the thing about, keeping a relaxed wrist, all that still applies. As much as you can, have your fingers round when you're playing. This is 89. Feels really good. 102. Ooh, that was a big jump. No, let's do 98. Uneven. Ooh, that was not good. So I wanted to say something. Uneven. You want all your notes, in this case they're all 16th notes, to sound equally as long as one another. So you don't want, that sort of thing. That might happen if you're not using good technique, or if you're playing something that you're just not ready to play that fast yet. It can happen. It means you're not in control. And so that's why I had to stop there. I don't want it to be uneven when I'm practicing. And notice here, I'm trying to play all the notes with the same velocity, with the same depth, so that none of them are louder than others. This is just for practice. Obviously, when I play, I'm going to use rubato, which means that you play with the rhythm a little bit, with the speed of what you're playing. I'm going to add dynamics, so I'm going to have notes that are louder than others. But right now, I just want it to be nice and clean. And then from there, I'll make choices on what I want to do with it musically. All right, let's go back to 98, and this time I will do better. Notice here it was not even. This one. This guy. So my 5th finger obviously is, really short compared to the others, so I have to make sure I get there on time. So now that I know that 5th finger here is tending to be a little bit late, I can anticipate and bring it in earlier. Okay, I'm going to do it at this tempo one more time. And also what I did to compensate for that, the short fifth finger, I noticed, let me just tell you what I did. So here, instead of staying down here and forcing my fifth finger to reach up, I actually brought my whole hand up, watch. So instead of being down here, I was up here. Do you see how close my fifth finger is to that G sharp here? If I play from here, let's see, then I have to come up. So save yourself a step. Stay here, okay? So stay more toward like the middle part of the black keys. I think I can go faster. 104. Still not good. I still don't like how I'm doing that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is lift my wrist a little bit and be above my finger, so I'm not playing from down here, I'm playing from here. That helped a lot. Let me do that again with the right fingering. What am I doing? Okay, that's my fingering. That's better. So do you see, I altered how I'm holding my arm in order to compensate for the length of my fingers relative to one another, and also to what Chopin wrote for us to do. And right now it's still relatively slow compared to how fast it's supposed to be. So I want to make sure I catch all these details before I get fast, and then I realize, hey, the way I practiced actually didn't really help me to play fast. 110. That's better, and I have a feeling this is going to feel a little bit awkward for a little while. So let's do it one more time. At least one more time. Or as my dance teacher Denon always says, one last chance to be good, or one more time before we do it again. All right. I don't know. I don't like that. So I'm intentionally like focusing when I get here to make my notes sound even. We do it one more time at 110. That's not very good. I don't like this. One other thing that will help with something that's going so fast and that's, moving around is to memorize it, because trying to keep your eyes on the page and do this at the same time fast is pretty difficult. So I'm going to see how much of that I can play from memory. Still don't like that. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. So what I don't like is I'm hearing a little bit of that. So what I'm going to do is drop into that first note and let me turn this off. I'm going to see these notes 1, 2, 3, 4 as like one motion rather than 4 motions. that sounds a lot better to me. So let's do that again. That was mostly memorized, so that's pretty good. It's not great, but it's not gonna be great with one practice session. It's just not, and you have to be okay with that. Now, I'm gonna play this right hand with a practice technique that I call altered rhythms, and maybe other people also call it that too. I didn't make this up. My teacher showed it to me when I was very young. So when you have runs like this, you don't have to play them as written. You can change the rhythm. So I'm gonna do Why would I do that? Well, it's forcing me to go fast and then giving me time to think about what's coming up. So I go, that was fast, and then I can think about what's coming up. Okay, so it's giving you a chance to practice fast motions, but also giving you a chance to think in between them. So I'm going to do it one more time. I'll do it with the metronome. I can also reverse it, so I was going fast, slow, I can do this. No, let's see. It's hard. Yeah. The reason it's hard is because the metronome is clicking, and I want to feel it as like 1, 2, 3, 4, but on this one I can't. It has to be on. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I did it. So let me pause the metronome and show you a different one. So I'm playing 4, and I'm waiting. Oops. Okay, so that was almost good. So what I can do is make those quick notes even quicker, and then on the other end of that, I should make the long notes longer so I have more time to think. So watch. So see how fast I play these guys? Then I'm gonna wait and plan. So this one is pretty good. I actually did a good job there. Don't do that. If you're practicing this, don't do this. Oops, I missed. No, you're missing the entire point. The point is not to miss. So take your time and plan it. It's like you're aiming for a target, but without talking would be better. Okay, watch. And the reason I'm stopping here is because we have those tied notes. And here we have a rest. Okay, now let me turn on the metronome. I will turn on the metronome and play it as written, and it should feel easier now because I did that altered rhythm practice. Yeah, it does feel easier. I'm trying to go faster. Okay, calm down, girl. That's amazing how quickly the altered rhythm exercise really advances what you're learning. Like that felt too slow for me. Before I practiced the altered rhythms, it was feeling a little fast and now it feels slow. All right, I'm gonna put the hands together. I normally wouldn't necessarily put the hands together right now, but I don't want this video to be like 5 hours long, and I want to give you some kind of payoff at the end. So I'm going to do it without the metronome first, just to see how we're fitting things. And no pedal either. I know my left hand is not doing well rhythmically, but that's okay for right now. I did wrong fingering. Okay, that's all right. So I just kind of wanted to get the muscle motions there. I know that was not good rhythm. I know I wasn't not putting the polyrhythm together correctly, but that's okay. We do it one more time, and I'm okay with it sounding bad right now. That's one thing you just have to accept as a musician. It's gonna sound bad before it can sound good. All right, so we're good. Okay, I'm gonna move my curtain because the sun is going down. What I noticed when I was just doing that is I'm tending to, when I put the hands together, I'm naturally listening to the right hand. Okay, I'm listening to that. And what I just realized is that if I listen to the left hand, it actually helps with the rhythm. Well, let's see, 46, is that good tempo? I think it's okay, so it's gonna be... So I'm going to listen to the left hand. Too fast. Faster than the metronome, but actually really it helps to fit the left hand with the metronome and just let the right hand kind of do its thing. That's weird. Okay, let's try 55. So I'm going to listen to this, fitting this with the metronome and let the right hand do its thing by itself. Not good, but it's getting there. Ooh, almost. I'm just really playing with this idea of fitting the left hand. It's so funny. When you're practicing, you come up with stuff, and then I can tell my students who are struggling with this, with the same thing. So actually, let me say something here. If you have a piano teacher, this might be a little bit offensive to some people. I know some piano teachers who never actually like play, either because they're too busy teaching, or I don't know, they just kind of fallen out of the habit of practicing. I think that's bad. I think that it's really hard to teach if you're not actively involved in the thing that you're teaching. Like just right now, I've realized, hey, you know, as I'm listening to the left hand, it's actually easier to fit together than trying to listen to both hands. So what I'm saying is, if you have a piano teacher or you're choosing a piano teacher, make sure it's somebody who's actively like performing or, you know, involved in music, not just a teacher. And if that offends a piano teacher who is watching right now who doesn't play, I'm sorry, but that's what I think. All right. Okay, I got some right hand fingerings wrong because I'm really focusing on the left hand. That's okay. Let's try 67. That's quite a leap, but that's okay. Let's see. All right, let's go for it. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's not very good. I know what it is. I'm too slow. It's okay. Not perfect, but it feels pretty good. I'm going to do it again at the same tempo. It's okay. It's okay. It's not great. Let's do 79. Hi, Elvis. It's not good. Now I'm going to try listening to both hands, now that I've kind of got the left hand secure. Okay, it's not good, but it's something for today. And I've been practicing for about 35 minutes, so I'm gonna call it a day right now. Probably if you were not here watching me, I would keep practicing this for another hour or so. I can get pretty obsessive, but I'm gonna stop here as I showed you the process, and I want to also let you know that it's okay to not be perfect, to process. And today, this is what I accomplished. It was pretty good. I could have done more, but I'm going to stop and take my dogs for a walk. All right. I hope that you got some benefit from watching me practice. You can see that I get better, then I get worse, then I get better, then I discover some things. That's how practicing works. Let me know if you have any questions or if you have any requests. My request list is very, very long, so most likely I will not get to your request anytime soon. If you need it right away, you can always schedule a video chat lesson with me and I can help you with whatever you need. Because of the algorithms of YouTube and other social media, you may not always be getting the updates on what I'm doing, and so I get lots of questions that I've already answered in different posts. So what you can do is go to my website, thepianokeys.com, and sign up for my mailing list, and then that way you'll get regular updates from me in your inbox, and then you can go check out whatever videos or posts are interesting to you. Keep practicing, have fun, and I will see you soon. Bye!